Hello. I wanted to give you all an update on the trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy that I have been in training for. Just a little update on that. Still not licensed yet, but I'm working my way towards it. Trying, anyways. I've been implementing this with some people that I work with. And if you've watched my video before, you know that I had doubts of doing this. I didn't even want to do it because I didn't think it was ethical for me to implement something that I would never do myself. So, if you watched my other video, you would know that I didn't even think that I could do this because it was too triggering. So, I wanted to give you a little update on that. So, been implementing this. I've been teaching relaxation skills, the whole nine. And one time I taught the relaxation skills, deep breathing, and it really works. It's where you breathe in your nose, hold for 10 seconds, breathe out, exhale out your mouth, say a calming word or phrase that would help you calm down. Mine is be still. So it's be still. Well, I implemented that with, a person. And this person had a lot of anxiety. Someone texted this person, and I said, well, can you please turn your phone over? And then they're like, oh, I was like, can you please turn your phone over? So they did, like that. And I said, let's just try the deep breathing. Let's just try it. Because I was making fun of it. Mind you, I was making fun of it because I'm thinking of the Buddha. I'm horrible, I know. But after they did that, I'm like, okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how, does it work? They were at a 5. Now they were at a 2 after they did that. And I was like, wait a minute. You feel calmer? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, it worked? They're like, yeah, you taught it to me. And I'm just like, are you lying to me right now? Because if you're lying to me, I don't appreciate it because, I have doubts about this. They're like, no, it works. And I'm like, okay, first thing. So that just blew my mind. I'm like, oh, wow, deep breathing actually works. Who knew? I thought it was a crock of crap, to be completely honest. Treatment goes on. Fast forward to 4 weeks later, right? Or 6 weeks later. 7 weeks. About a month and a half later. I'm supposed to give pre-test and mid-test and post-test. That means I use the CPSS, the PTSD scale for children, measuring their symptoms of PTSD. If it's 12 or above, they're recommended to do this intervention. So, in the beginning, the symptoms were a 15. So that means they qualified for it. Mid-treatment, before the trauma narrative, they were at a 12 or something like that. The post-treatment, towards the end of treatment, guess what their score was? A 4. A 4. And I'm just like, I started asking these questions, it's on the CPSS, and I'm just like, so, how much do you have nightmares about the event, whatever, 0 being 1 time a week, 1 being 1 is 2 to 3 times, 2 is 2 to 5, 3 is 5 to 7. They scored a 4 on the CPSS. And I'm just like, wait a minute. I'm not good at math. Let me go back and let me see. I counted this thing more than 6 times. They're like, you've counted that so much. The first thing you said was right. And I'm thinking, I'm looking at it. because all the scores are on there with the dates, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, do you not have these problems anymore? These symptoms? They're like, no, I don't. I don't think about that stuff anymore. It doesn't affect me anymore. And I'm just like, wait a minute, let me go back and check it a couple more times just to make sure I'm right. and I'm just like, they're like, it works. I don't have these problems anymore. And I'm like, do you know what this means? Say this is it, for example. I'm looking at it like this, and I'm just like, do you know what these numbers mean? And they're like, no. And I'm like, these are the dates to where you took the thing. These are the dates to where you took the quiz. Whatever, the pre-test, post-test, whatever. Look. And I showed it, I said, this means that this actually works. This means that you don't have those symptoms anymore. And they're like, well, yeah, I told you that. And I'm just like, but do you know what this means? Do you know what these numbers mean? Because numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. And I don't care. A person can't memorize the CPSS, whatever, because it's too much information. Like, over a 3-4 month span, unless they go on their free time looking that up, whatever, they don't even know what it's called, they can't memorize that. You know, that's a lot. A whole lot. And I'm just like, this means that this intervention actually works. This means that your symptoms have reduced. This means that you do not have these problems anymore regarding the situation. And they're like, I don't have them anymore. And I'm just like, I could not believe it. I really couldn't. I really couldn't. I almost wanted to cry because I really couldn't believe that it worked. And I'm just like, brought the caregiver in because, you know, you're supposed to do it with the caregiver. And I explained to the caregiver what, you know, we discussed and what the scores were. And I was like, and they're like, their symptoms have really reduced that much? And I said, yes, they was at a 15, and now they're like, now it was mid-treatment, and it was a 12, and now it's a 4. And then they're just like, I really just can't believe it. And then I was like, well, wait a minute, let me just go back and check one more time. And they're like, the person's like, you've literally checked more than 10 times already. And then they start laughing, and I'm just like, guys, this means that if it works for them, then it works for other people. This means that this intervention, this trauma-focused TFCBT, this means that this intervention actually works. This means that this intervention is effective, and it lowers symptoms, and it works. This means that I can help other people lower their symptoms. Like, I really couldn't even believe it because, I mean, if any of you all look on my YouTube, actually, I think I'm wearing the same sweater. Yes, I'm wearing the same sweater. So it's the sweater, this one, with my hair all curly and weird. Okay, if you look at that video, if you see all of my doubts, I was questioning myself. I was like, I do not think that I can do this. I do not think that I can do this. I don't even think it works. I was criticizing it. To now, a couple months later, and I'm just like, friggin' works. It works, and it helps people. It reduces their symptoms. This is amazing. This is because I was doubting it. You look at the video, I'm telling you, I'm not even lying, I was doubting it. And I was just like, wow, this intervention works. And I'm just so happy. I'm so hype because it works. Because I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. It works. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know that the trauma-focused cognitive behavior therapy, the intervention that I was doubting myself on, that I didn't even think that I could do it, it works and it's effective. And it reduces PTSD symptoms in children that have been through traumatic events. It actually works. I've seen it. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy that I stuck it out and it was worth it. It was worth it. The crying, the doubting, well, not the doubting, well, yeah, the doubting, the questioning, am I going to be good at this? What if I don't want to say anything that might traumatize anybody else? Like, what if I don't do good? What if? I can and I did. I did it. And it works. I never thought that I would be a therapist anyways and, like, specialize in trauma. What? And then what? And then to know that it actually works, and I'm just like, oh, this is just amazing. I just thought that I should give a quick, kind of a quick update on that, because I know that the original video that I posted, I think it's called Sometimes It Takes One Person to Believe in You. I think that's what it's called. It's about this intervention, and it talks about how I was doubting the whole time. But I want you all to know that I did write it out. I stuck with it. I'm still sticking with it. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's triggering. Yes, it makes me cry sometimes. But guess what? This intervention works. I've seen it. It reduces the pattern. No, it reduces the PTSD symptoms that kids have when they experience a traumatic event in their lives. It actually works. I'm amazed. Amazed. Thank you for that therapist doctor lady, for teaching me this. Thank you to my supervisor for pushing me and saying and believing in me, saying that I can do this when I didn't think that I could do it myself. And to my director for believing in me when I didn't even think that I could be a therapist. Didn't even know it. Didn't even think it. Didn't even think it was possible. Like, it's humbling, but yeah, TFCBT works, and it's very effective. And I just thought you all should know that. Update. So yeah, it's a really weird thing to be excited about, but it's okay, because guess what? I don't even care. I'm excited because I know this intervention is going to help so many people, and I just... Anyways, I'm done. Bye.